Okay folks, welcome back to my blind Japanese playthrough of Dark Souls 3. I look a little bit different, not for any real reason other than just messing around. I've figured out an armor set that can enable me to take a hit off the giant who was causing me trouble the other day. But it is not this one apparently. Have I got the bow on? I do. So wearing this, and I think I can even pop the gloves on, I can look kind of stylish, and I can take a hit off, I forget the guy's name. But I still haven't figured out the gimmick in the fight. I thought it was the throne, but there's a message by the throne, which might be telling me what I'm meant to do, but I'm still not kind of seeing it. So what I'm going to show you is a couple things I did off camera. One of them, I didn't really want to do it, it kind of just happened, and I just thought, you know, I've started half of it, so I might as well finish it. And the other one was a lady that I found by, essentially, it was luck, but at the same time, I had an idea that they might do this. So the first one is back here, from this bonfire. So last night I was a little bit disheartened because I didn't really know where to go, and I knew there was a boss I couldn't beat just yet because I don't know how to beat him, and I felt really restricted, so I decided to run around some old areas, and I came back here. And when I came over to this well, there was somebody in it, and it was Onion Bro, and apparently somebody pushed him in the well and took his armor. And I was like, oh, okay, that kind of sucks. So I'm not really paying too much attention. I just thought, well, you know, I found an NPC. This must be the next part in his quest. So I'm running around this zone. I'm killing some people. Did I go this way? I don't think I went that way. I think I went this way. And I went up here. And can you remember when we pulled those switches that raised those platforms that pinned the giants in, or did something that I wasn't too sure what it was that they did? Somebody swung at me. But I'm killing people, I'm farming, I'm hoping, you know, somebody drops something interesting. I'm hoping I see a corner or something I didn't see before. I'm just kind of hoping for results. Did I come into this particular bit? I did. I came in here like this. And then I come down here. And right there, right here, was Onion Bro. And I walk up to him. And it ain't Onion Bro. It's somebody pretending to be him. They're using similar language, they're using stuff, but they keep laughing, and the voice is a little bit different. And I recognize Patch's voice when I hear it. And the guy says, there's a treasure over there, if I go out and have a look. So I'm like, oh, this is Patch's then. And I ended up stabbing him in the face and aggroing him. So I killed him, and it gave me a ring that improves kicks, or affects kicks. Because I've seen it on a wiki, this one. And it gave me Onion Bro's armor. So I went back to the well, and I gave him the armor, and he thanked me, and he said he's going to continue on his way. And then I thought, oh, I wonder what's down here. And if you notice, there's those slug monsters. I thought that was going to be a trap too when I stood on that. I thought it was going to be a little bit like the Iron Keep. So I see this fella. He's a mage. Give him a quick slashing. Over there is a dead end. Don't know why, just is. Here looks like it could have led to something, but there's nothing here at the moment. And then through here, there's tons of those dudes I just stabbed. Like, you see that guy there? Who's, like, crucified against the wall with some... Well, I say crucified, he's impaled, isn't he? He's embedded. And there's a bunch of them in here embedded in these big nail things. And then there's that guy who sees you and gets all giddy. And then there's a mage to your left, if you didn't see him, who fires the magic. And there's more, tons of them just drop off the ceiling. And they're not particularly challenging. He's the most dangerous, because he fires magic spells. But if you have... Hang on. That was creepy. If you have any kind of fire bombs, they work wonders. Thanks. I don't know if the bleed knives... Yeah, the bleed knives work wonders too. So everything works wonders, because they're not the strongest creature. And I'm killing these, and I'm just like, oh, maybe they'll drop something good, which they didn't. But I'm always optimistic, so we massacre a bunch of these fellas. There might have been 1 or 2 items, nothing too staggering. And then there's this big door. So I thought it was going to be locked. So when I went up to it and pressed it, he opened it, of course, didn't he? So I'm like, bollocks. And I'm thinking, this is where we can go tomorrow. This is what we can do. I found a new way. I'm super excited. This is great. So I stumble in here and I hit the bonfire. I notice there's a bunch of cribs. Pretty creepy. Hey, this is different. Oh, that sucks. So there was a woman on this, a little bit like what you would expect Guinevere to be doing. And she was caressing and hugging like this big fleshy nasty sack. And it was a covenant by the name of Rosario's Fingers. And when I was leaving, the guy who gave me the cracked orbs in the Nexus was like, you know, welcome to Rosario and all that kind of stuff. And apparently that must be the name of the Dark Wraiths in this game. Then when I went back to Firelink, you know the woman who was there, who, like, hoped I had a good journey and everything? She says, you've joined the Rosario's Fingers. Oh, what a shame. Kind, gentle hollow, or gentle unkindled, the next time we meet we will do so as enemies. And it looks like she's come back here and killed this person. Which sucks. Huh. Do you think that's going to let us... That's a... I know what that orb is. That's a similar orb to what you get off of Lautrec. So do you think we're going to invade her world with it? Where do you think it vibrates? Do I have to have it in my stack for it to tell me that it vibrates? Or is that a different kind of invasion orb? I don't know. I guess we'll... Oh, I can still mess with the Covenant then. She's just dead. And I did this, and I gave it something, and I don't know what I'm giving it. Oh, I forget. I'm telling lies. So these options, this one, you give it those tongues, I think, and it lets you respec. That one lets you change your appearance. So this is how you can respec in this game, via this lady. And you can still do so when she's dead, which is weird. But this is your respec, so you have to get this far. Which is not too bad, really. I'm curious what's going to happen now, then. Because the next time we meet that woman, and I reckon we're on the next phase of the quest now, we've picked up that orb. Then maybe she's going to be somewhere close. So I'm just going to run back the normal way. There's going to be a ton of dickheads now, which is annoying, but we'll be fine. And maybe something interesting is going to happen. Additionally, last night I killed all the crabs. I killed all the crabs at the bottom of Izalith, and I killed all the crabs in the swamps. And some of them, the ones that don't come back, or seemingly don't come back, they give you rings. All kinds of different rings and spells and shit. And I found a Grass Crest Shield, which is kind of a big deal, if you're a Dark Souls fan. It looks very similar, and it gives you the same benefit. The difference here is the block is 89 physical, and I don't know if it was 89 physical in Dark Souls 1, but it upgrades with Twinkling Titanite, so they've realised just how powerful this shield is, and they've gave it resources that are kind of extreme, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's all good. So let's go back to the Firelink. Oh, by the way, I went down there as well. The person firing arrows at me is still firing arrows at me, even though we were friends, and I don't know why we're not friends. So that's weird. And I went to talk to him again, and he was like, okay, we'll be friends, as if I'd pissed him off. And I think that maybe if you attack giants, you lose your friendship with that guy. And I attacked a few giants, I killed a few giants, so maybe that's why he's not friends. I don't know. So she doesn't seem to be here. And I don't think he's up here either. No, he's not. Okay. This is what we do. I'm going to show you the next thing I found. And I found it thanks to daggers and an understanding of Dark Souls. And it's over in Anor Londo, which, according to Furry, this place is literally called Anor Londo. So as much as I'm saying, you know, it looks like Anor Londo, this is Anor Londo, how can this not be Anor Londo? It totally is. Oh, we already knew it was, but, you know. Oh, the Silver Knights here as well might be the biggest dicks in this game. They can kill me effortlessly with one hit. If it's a counter hit, I'm dead. I have to be very lucky to survive. They take tons of hits, and the spawn is designed in such a way that they both patrol the same area, so you can pull two of them almost every time unless you're very careful. It's a goddamn nightmare. I have no idea why the Black Knights are weaker than the Silver Knights, but I think that that's dumb as shit, because it's true. Like, I will gladly fight a Black Knight in this game compared to a Silver one, because the Silver ones are just, they're insane. It's absolutely just ridiculous. So, I turned this like so. Because I wanted to figure out how to get over there. And I'm looking at this zone. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, I think I've been there. And I could see through one of the windows. And one of the windows was the rafters. That is the room where the bonfire is. To the run back to Pontiff. And that is the belfry that leads to nowhere. So I'm just thinking like, how the hell do you get there then? Because we know you can't get there via that room. And I came over here, and on a whim, I threw a knife. And that was it. That's all I needed to know exactly what kind of section this is. And as expected, it's just like the Crystal Caverns. And I run over here, and then I come over there, and I'm in it. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy. But I didn't do it like that. I threw a knife, I walked forward, I threw a knife, I walked forward, and it was a pretty tense moment. And then there's this crazy ghost lady here who reminds me of the Life Hunt Scythe lady from The Painted World. And you can drop down there and find a bunch of stuff, but there's a bonfire, and then there's nothing much else. And I think this lady's the leader of the Dark Moons. So if you listen to her...
Thou thinkst to remain.
She's very skinny.
The tower is a prison. Thy presence shall invoke the ire of the tyrant Sullivan.
So did you hear that?
I bid thee leave, anon.
Our presence will provoke the ire of the tyrant Sullivan. It doesn't make any sense. We've killed him. He's dead. Pontiff Sullivan is gone. Yet this lady is really scared of him. And there's a choice here that I don't have.
May the dark moon watch over thee.
So she's talking about dark moons and stuff. And I'm really tempted to kill her because I don't know how to remedy this quest. But... I found this. I was hoping it would lead to something awesome. It didn't. It just kind of led to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and... We're going to have another crack at the giant. I'm trying to think if I've got... Oh, by the way, I found the Painted Guardian sword and the Painted Guardian uniform. Which is just as you would expect it to be. There's a lot of throwback clothing in this game. It's kind of nuts. There's almost as much throwback clothing as there is clothing that's new, which is... You could look at it as lazy, but I'd look at it as an homage. That puts me to 81, so that's no good. If I put Havels on, will I still be 81? No, I'll be 71, so that takes off 10%. And then if I drop the gloves... There we go. So this does... a decent amount of damage. Which is good to know. And I just took it off like an idiot. What was I trying to press? Was it triangle? There we go. So 347 with that. No buffs though, because I don't think it can be buffed. 315 with that, but it's fast. 346 with that, and it's kind of fast. But the reason I'm picking this is for this. It's for that. Because I think, due to the length, I can hit this giant's head. So here's what I'm thinking. I asked on Twitter if this giant had a gimmick. One person kind of said what I already knew. The other person said yes. And I asked people not to spoil. You know, I didn't say it like that. I said I don't want to know what it is. I just want to know that there's a gimmick. And somebody said yes. So there's definitely a gimmick. How do I get to it? This one. And the only thing I can think of in that room is the throne. But he doesn't break it. There doesn't seem to be anything to examine. I can't break it. And if it's what I think it is, which is it's elevated, so when he does those attacks where he leaves his head vulnerable, you're close enough to hit the head. But I've hit the head when I was close enough to him being vulnerable, and it didn't do that much damage. So if the gimmick is, you've got to try and get him to hit his head, then I'm going to think that this fight's a piece of shit. Because when I hit his head, it does barely any damage, and staying in that area is incredibly dangerous. Because he gets all kind of crazy dead angles on you, and it's just not viable. Wow. Can't get hit by another one of them. Oh! Maybe I can. Why was that so perfect that time? Why did it line up so amazingly and the other times never? Fucking runebacks are stupid. These mages shouldn't spawn, I don't think. I think once you kill them, they should be gone for good. Because nobody wants to get shot at by a fucking homing laser bullshit. Every game has them though, you know? Have you noticed that? Every Souls game has stupid, questionable magic. It's almost not a Souls game if it's not in there. Nearly died from the fall. I wonder if it's better to just run rather than roll. Because rolling leaves you in some serious recovery. Okay. So I'll turn the music down a little bit if I can. I was hoping that we could damage this guy in a particular way where we'd be able to do consistent, decent damage, but I just don't think that's the fight. It's very fast as well, it must be said. This dude is... That's a good one. Don't think that got his head though, did it? I don't think weapon matters here. I really don't. So, I hope this is not what you meant to do. I hope I'm just misconstruing this. Because look, there's this that says the throne is important. No third hit. I want him to slam, because then I can do this. But look at that, 381 damage. It's not great. You know, it's not going to change your fucking life. Can you slam, please? You know, this guy's got a lot of life for that to be good damage. You know? I'm not digging this at all. Like, I just don't... I think it's kind of shitty. But that's just me. And he did that, which is bad news. And now he's doing the slam. And then I'm out of position, because it's a crap place to fight. And if that's the gimmick... then it sucks dick, because we're not going to kill him any quicker than we were doing chopping his ankles, so there must be something else. That I'm just not getting it. And I wish I could. I'm not as clever as other people. Because you get the stun, and you can do a ton of shots, but it's still, you know, it's too slow. And I've got decent damage. Oh, you don't want that. There we go. Like, this is not good damage. If you think this is good damage, there's something wrong with you. And I don't want to say there's anything wrong with you, because you're very kind and awesome people. But that's not good damage for something that has this amount of life. That's shit fucking damage. And this is as strong as this weapon can be, with 30 scaling. 33 scaling, because that ring gives me extra dex. So, I'm just... Again, with that bullshit. Stop it. I want to figure it out, but I don't get it. And I don't want to cheat either. Because you know it'll be online, but... I just... find this to be way too slow for my tastes. This could be bad position. But it worked okay. The good news is that I'm really comfortable with how he moves now. Because we did those big 30-minute fights for no reason. So I'm comfortable with the fight in a lot of ways, even if it's far too long. I mean, 381 damage is better, but it's still... It's not my idea of good damage. I'm a damage whore, what can I say? It's a good pattern, it's just boring. Like, if I were to say some... I mean, there's a gimmick here that I'm not seeing that makes this super quick and better. That staggered me, that was dangerous. But if this is the fight and it's just how much it takes, I would reckon that this is going to get nerfed. Because it's just too long. Unless I'm under-leveled on like weakest piss, even though I don't think I am. Or I'm just not understanding the concept of what's meant to be happening here. That was weird. Trying to get him to do it again by hugging him. Kinda worked too. Is he doing the third one? Of course he is. It's very kind. Hey, that's much better. The 2 hits rather than the R2. This could be the shout. Yeah, I expected it. So I'm going to reposition now because I don't like it. Did he do something to me when he... Oh, you can probably hit him again, can't you? I keep my shield up for safety, but I'm just learning the rolls. That's kind of what I'm doing here. So this is second phase. And he gets super burny. I've seen this before, spoiler alert, when I was trying to figure out what the gimmick was. And the only thing really different here is visually. And he gets this super fast jump move, but his arm seems to be weak. Oh, and that's fiery, but it doesn't actually do any kind of perceivable fire damage. cannot sleep on that move though. It's too fast. And I think the way forward here is to attack the arm that's on fire. You know, the one that's kind of wagging by his side? I think his arm is... I didn't have to roll then. That wasn't a good example, but... I think that's what you do. Is he going to jump? Yeah. See what I mean? 200 damage is... It's not terrible. It's not great. But I'm willing to accept that perhaps there's no such thing as good damage against this boss. Jump. Unless you hit that. 217. This is a really big range move. But it does leave him vulnerable afterwards. That's just goofy. And I'm thinking, do we try and get him back on the step and try and do that? Or is this just a different approach altogether? Jump. Bollocks. Because the longer format fights are my weakness. And the lock-on manipulation is going to be tricky on a move such as that. Don't really understand that one. Some kind of guillotine uppercut. Yeah, I'm really bad at this. That was hard to see. Jump? No? Nah, he's gonna jump. Like, he doesn't lower his head enough. Maybe that's the move we want to try and get over by the steps. Bait the jump by the steps and hit the face. Because distance, that's the good one. But he didn't do it. Oh god, what is he doing? Maybe what is he doing? Stop being weird. $217. This is the jump. Oh no. As if he just keeps doing that one. That was the jump, I just completely messed up. Yeah, there must be a better way than this. How could there not be? This is the jump. But hitting that face is a work of art. Maybe we just put him back over where he was and just try the pattern again. Try and get close, get him to do shit like that. Hey, I think it might work. It does. Don't do that, bitch. I can't fucking see now. Good job, dickhead. I don't like this boss. I might like it once I learn it, but right now I think this is shit. Because it's fucking boring. It's awkward, it's gangly, and it's dull. And it could have been amazing. And it might be amazing, and I want it to be amazing, but I don't get it. Whatever the hell's going on, I'm just not getting it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it when you stood up there, dickhead. That's my place. It just seems like such a specific, stupid thing. I know that was gonna... He gets too much forward momentum on that. I'm looking forward to killing him though, because I'm going to go and look on some videos and see how everyone else is doing it, because this is not it. It can't be. Fucking Ancient Dragon 2. Thanks. Ancient Dragon's room was really good, and the camera in that fight was actually really helpful. At this point, I could have been hitting his ankles every time I've gone through his legs and maximising on potential damage. Could have hit him then. What was that? And how did it hit me? I had block up the entire time. Fucking trash. That's what this trash is. Have a knife, dickhead. So how's your Easter Sunday going? Easter Sunday, sorry. Do you believe in Easter? Do you see the correlation between a giant bunny rabbit hiding chocolate eggs to Jesus? Or is that just... That was weird. The gimmick here should just be hitting him in the head, really. And you should probably be able to do it at any point when he does the big moves. It shouldn't have to be a very specific time. I mean, that might work a treat, actually. It kind of does, but it's only doing 124 damage. Who designed this? Is everyone expected to have a frosty sword at this point or something? What the fuck? Terrible. Should have bought it on Xbox, he'll probably have half the life. Didn't. Too soon. Which I suppose I should mention. The current Xbox One version at the moment is on a previous patch of the game. It's on the patch that the developers gave to the press people. So it's a slightly easier version of Dark Souls 3. But I think it's kind of silly to make such a big fuss, personally, because I can guarantee it's still probably very difficult. Like, I saw the Lothric Knights destroying Darkside Phil, and it wasn't because Darkside Phil sucks, even though you could make that argument. It was because those knights are bitches regardless of balance. They're a very dangerous and intimidating enemy. Is he going into the third phase? Oh no, he was jumping. Is there even a third phase? I do like that move. I wish I understood the counter to it to do damage. This little jumpy thing. Maybe you can parry it and he face plants. That'd be cool. Ow. That was nearly death. That is death. Great. I had knives on, that's why I didn't heal. Okay.